Chris, back in London, back on the grass, how's it feel to be at the Boodles?
It feels good. The Boodles is an event that I've seen for a number of years now. A lot of the players in preparation for Wimbledon will come here and get some practice. So to get the call, to have the opportunity, I couldn't say no. So it was really fun, good atmosphere, and glad I was able to make it.
And we're at the halfway stage now of the year, of the season, of the tour. How's the first 5-6 months been for you going into Wimbledon?
Yeah, not as good as I would have liked. I started off fairly strong, and then it's been a bit of a slow kind of decel or decline since then. But so far, since getting here in London and practicing, I feel my game is as good as it's been all year. So I'm excited to get going on the grass, and I'm excited for the next 6 months. I really think I can kind of put the past 4 or 5 months behind me and really start to play some of my best tennis, and hopefully I can start here for Wimbledon.
With that in mind, what are the expectations going into Wimbledon, given your past experience at the tournament too?
Yeah, I mean, taking it one match at a time. I found my best success when I focused on the first round match and then focused on the second round. And so not putting too big or lofty expectations, just focusing on the match that's ahead, that served me pretty well in 2023. So I want to kind of bring some of that back and allow me to just take it day by day.
What is it about Wimbledon? What makes it so special, so different from the other Grand Slams?
I think the history behind it. I think the greenery for sure. Wimbledon is something that I think we all have grown up, especially in the States, seeing breakfast at Wimbledon, and seeing the flowers and everything in the background, and just seeing legendary matches from Federer and Nadal. I think it was 2008 Wimbledon final to the final with Federer and Roddick, 18-16 in the fifth. Like, so many legendary matches have been played at Wimbledon, so to be able to be a part of it, I think you just kind of bring a certain level of excitement.
And you mentioned legendary matches there. We just come off the back of one with Alcaraz and Sinner in the Roland Garros final. As colleagues on tour, and probably perhaps speaking on behalf of the rest of the tour, I mean, how inspiring was that final and the levels that Alcaraz and Sinner were able to get to?
It was incredible to see the heights that they're taking the game, the amount of shot making that they were able to produce, the movement, the athleticism. I mean, both of those guys are so complete at such a young age. So it's a really exciting time to be a tennis fan, and it's a really exciting time to be able to compete against both of those guys.
Alcaraz will perhaps be favourite to go on and compete and win Wimbledon, of course. What is it about his game that impresses you so much?
I think his ability to be a bit of an all-court player. He can defend when he needs to. He can play all-court tennis. I think he's the best volleyer on tour right now. So he has all the tools. He's about as complete of a tennis player as we've seen, especially at his age. So I think everything from the movement to the athleticism, the power, the variety, you can't speak enough about everything that he brings to the court. He doesn't really have any holes, and so yeah, he's a phenomenal player.
And we talk about Sinner, we talk about Alcaraz. It's important not to forget Novak, of course, especially on the grass at Wimbledon. Even with his age, is he still a huge threat at the tournament?
Absolutely, like you said, especially at Wimbledon. I think all of the players in the locker room know that Novak's a threat, but I think especially at Grand Slams, the test of having to beat him in 3 sets, 3 out of 5 is a mountain to climb in and of itself. So while maybe fans who watch or media members who watch may not look at Novak as much of a threat, I certainly know that guys in the locker room are looking at him. Any Grand Slam that comes around, you're very weary of the guy with 24 majors lurking in the draw.
And now that you're doing a bit more of the punditry stuff, are you able to take a bit of a back seat and actually analyse someone like Novak, and now that he's perhaps coming just towards the latter part of his career, to appreciate him more, because we may not see him too often?
I think doing comms hasn't really shifted the outlook or the perspective that I have on Novak. I think just being a tennis fan in general, you understand that times like this don't happen, players like this don't come around too often. So you make sure you want to be able to cherish them while they're here and really just kind of relish in their greatness.
And just finally, Jack Draper going into Wimbledon, he's coming off the back of someone like Andy Murray, who had a huge amount of pressure on him going into what have you made of his last sort of 12 to 18 months in particular? Because it's been some rise to get to 4th, 5th in the world.
Yeah, it's been an incredible rise. I mean, to see that everything that he's had to battle earlier in his career with injuries, with even not dealing with the heat as well as I'm sure he would have liked early in his career, and to see the hard work that he's been able to put in really post-COVID, and just to kind of see him continue to build on that, I think he's certainly put a lot of the tour on notice that that old maybe thought that he's not that physical, or you want to extend matches with him because he had trouble in the heat. That clearly is gone out the window. He's one of the most physical players on tour. He's incredibly athletic. He has so many weapons. Lefty serve, that forehand, his backhand's rock solid. He really has a bit of everything. So I've really enjoyed seeing it. Love to see aggressive-minded players, all-court players looking to come in, and Jack certainly does that well. I look forward to seeing what he's able to do at Wimbledon. Obviously, you highlighted the expectations. It's something that Hinman and Murray and all of the great Brits before him have had to deal with. Norrie, even being a top 10 player, making the semifinals at Wimbledon. So, they've all kind of had to go through that, and there's not really a doubt in my mind. I think Jack will handle it, handle it well, handle it with class, and be able to put his best foot forward.
Definitely. So just one last one. You went a bit viral on social media this week with regards to reacting to Nick Kyrgios's comments. Can you just explain for those who may not be on social media, what on earth happened there?
You'd probably be able to explain it a bit better than me. I think, there was a bit of a loss in translation. I think Nick was under the impression that I was working for the BBC at Wimbledon, and I'm not. So what he said in the article honestly nothing about it was disrespectful or offensive or wrong. It kind of built up a bit of a firestorm. I just wanted to get involved on social media and just kind of have a nice little laugh with it. So I posted a couple memes to just, with no captions, just to kind of enjoy kind of the little frenzy that was going on. But it's really much to do about nothing. You read what he said. Everything he said I thought was pretty accurate. I've never beaten the big three. He has, and I think he has a great perspective on tennis because of what he's accomplished in tennis. I've enjoyed listening to his commentating. So it's kind of caught a bit of a storm, and people are wanting to talk about it, but it's really much to do about nothing. Like, Nick and I are fine. So it was just a little bit of a fun little social media thing.